Okay, we're going to do a little magic circle video. So we're going to start with the circle actually between the knees, and you're lying on your back. When it's between your knees, make sure it's not way down your thighs, like it is between the knees or just below the bones of your knees on the inside. And then you want to make sure your feet are not way out apart, because that's really hard on your hip joints to be pressing against it. So you got to walk your feet towards each other as best you can, and the circle will be open and not squeezing. So you're kind of just holding it there without squeezing it. So as close as your feet can be. And then you want to check in on the pelvis and the position of your spine and your pelvis alignment. So you want to make sure that your pelvis is not tucked, where your pubic bone is way higher than your hip bones, or that your tailbone is curled up off the mat. So you want to just lengthen the front of your pelvis forward so that the pubic bone and your two hip bones are on a flat horizontal plane as best as you can feel, as best as you can get. So now you're ready, your arms are down by your side and your shoulders are relaxed. You're going to give a little squeeze against the circle, hold for 3, 2, 1, and then gently release. Make sure, you'll do it again, as you press, that the pelvis doesn't change. So you haven't tucked or arched your pelvis in your back. And then release, so it stays consistent in that position and stable. And you're gonna press and squeeze and hold. And as you hold, you might be able to feel your abdominals kind of wrapping around and squeezing towards your center. And then release. And a press. Abdominals wrap, they sink, and they drop up behind you, like they're kind of stretching you longer without changing your pelvis. And then release. And we'll do 2 more. Press and hold. Abdominals wrap, sink, drop up behind your ribs. Release. And 1 more. And then you kind of try to put it together and coordinate it that it all kind of happens eventually at the same time or smoother, right? So that just takes practice. So now you're going to give it a little tiny press, not maybe as big as you did, so a small one. And then your right leg is going to release and press. Release and press, keeping your pelvis stable. Release and keeping your left leg stable. So the left leg doesn't drop out and in, it just stays stable. 4 to 5 of these. And hold, and then do the left side. Releases, connect and press. It resists opening, so it doesn't just flop out, and press. Resist, and as you press, you think of those abdominals narrowing, all of that, each time to make it even better or more connected or deeper. We'll do 1 more. And then just release both. And now you can alternate. So give just a little squeeze, small. Release the right, connect, bring it in, hold that, release the left, connect, bring it in, hold that. The right, connect, hold that, the left, connect and hold that. And we'll do that 1 more each side. Pelvis is stable. Left side, connect, press, hold, and release. And sometimes it's a good little warm-up to just kind of get yourself connected to the circle. And sometimes we do the standing stuff, right? So let's do some kind of standing stuff, but lying on your back. So your legs are extended, so long as that's okay on your back. And as they've extended, you want to make sure that you still have that nice long pelvis, but that it hasn't been pulled so that your back is arching more. So the opposition is the legs, the front of the pelvis is reaching long and forwards, the abdominals are pulling in and up away from that. So that's what you're looking for. Your arms are gonna start just above your chest, so make sure the circle doesn't drift backwards, that your wrist is just above your shoulder there. And in this position, you can feel your shoulders on the mat. You can feel your chest and ribs soft towards the mat, so you're not arching. And that little gentle, softened bend of your elbows so that you can connect the muscles as you press and hold. 2, 3, and then release. So if your arms are locked, you're not going to work the muscles. You're going to end up working joints, ligaments, tendons. So just that little release, elbows kind of point out to the sides, not forwards, yeah? And give a little squeeze, hold, 2, 3, and then resist. And as you continue, squeeze and hold, you're finding those muscles under the scapula, under your shoulder blades, under the armpits, around the sides, and the back of your body. And again, press, abdominals drop in and up, hold, 2, 3, and release. And again, as you press and hold, you'll notice if your shoulders have lifted off the mat. I've just shown that. That's not what you want. So they stay on the mat, release. And we'll do one more. Press, engage, hold, 2, 3, and then release. Good, so that's just connected you in that position. And now from here, we're gonna go into the 100. Yay! Okay, so options. To not use the circle, just so that you can do your 100, because it's always good to get that in. Or if you wanna use the circle, you can bend your knees into your chest, take the circle between your ankles, just above the ankle bones, and hold your legs with your hands to start with, so it doesn't feel, exhausting just to start. In this position, you're gonna hold onto your legs, curl your head and shoulders off the mat, find the length of your tailbone, because as I was here, it got pulled off, right? So press it forwards, give a little squeeze on the circle there, and see if you can extend your legs up to the ceiling. I'm using my hands to help me stay lifted and supported. And in this position, your chin to chest, eyes looking into your center, arms reach forward, and you start pumping. Inhale for 5, like you normally do. Exhale for 5. Your legs are just up there. Inhale, and you're just not dropping the circle. There's no extra work. Exhale for 5. And we'll do that 2 more times, or 1 more time. Inhale, this is 3, and exhale. Now we're gonna do 2 more sets. Inhale, 2, 3. Now as you exhale, give a little squeeze on the circle. And as you inhale, release the circle. And as you exhale, release the circle. Good, just bend your knees, grab on, and lie down for a second. Relax your neck. So we're gonna do 5 more like that with the work of the circle, or not. If you're not using the circle, just do your next 5 sets. So curl chin to chest, lift your head and shoulders, long tail. Stretch your legs up to the ceiling. Try not to look up at it, I know it's tempting. Reach your arms forward to help you stay forward. Pump your arms, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, then exhale, squeeze, 3, 4, inhale, release, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 2 more, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 1 more, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend your knees, take the circle out, thank goodness, and just lay down. You can turn your head side to side if there's any tension that's accumulated. And then we're gonna try the roll up. So, in the studio, if you use the strap under your feet, it's helpful. If you don't have one at home, okay. So the reality is we don't probably, so we're not gonna use it. We're gonna use the work of the circle to help us through the sticky spots, or your hands grabbing your legs and no circle, so that you can practice a really good, pattern of your roll up. But let's just try it with the circle. Your arms, look, they're holding your circle. You can reach your arms back, but I'm not looking for you to touch the back of the mat with it, because maybe that's gonna take your back into a huge arch. That's not what we're looking for. So go to where your shoulders allow you to go without changing your spine. You start with your feet flexed. Lift the circle up to the ceiling. Curl your chin to chest, inhale. Now, as you start to roll up, exhale right away. Squeeze the circle to give you support through the sticky spot, and then come over and stretch. Now, as you're stretching, try not to drop the circle. If you can lift it to the height of your hands, great. As you go back, pull your abdominals through you, settle your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale as you curl back and squeeze the circle through your more precarious spots. Release the circle when you don't need it. Arms can come back. Arms up, chin to chest, inhale. Exhale, curl, squeeze the circle, mimicking the squeeze of your seat and your waistline, and reach forward. Inhale, a little squeeze of the seat, start curling back. Exhale, squeeze the circle if you need support, and then release it when you don't. One more, arms up. Inhale, chin to chest. Arms low. Exhale, squeeze. Up, over, stretching forwards, but pulling your waistline back in opposition. And inhale, come back. Exhale, squeeze when you need it or not. And down. All right, so that's your roll-up. You can practice a few more if you want. Next up, we're going to use the circle with the ball of your foot in the squishy pad, hands on either side of the other squishy pad. Other leg is straight down. Have a look at it. Make sure it's not drifting way out to the side. It's in and under that hip, below your hip of that leg. And then we'll just bend and stretch that leg a few times to limber. And just kind of feeling what it feels like. You're going to avoid the Mae West where your hip is hiking up. So you can just think of it rotating under, bend, and stretch. We'll just do one more. As you leave the leg up there, we're going to take a hold of it with the opposite hand. So right foot is in, left hand holds. Other arm comes out to the side on the floor or grab your mat. Take the leg across and over and try to take that same hip, reach it under like it's lengthening down towards the end of the mat. And there's your stretch. The hip, the back of the hip pretty much stays on the mat, so you're not rolling off of it. Take a couple of breaths there, lift it up, switch hands to hold it. Take the leg out to the other side, and as it goes out, you're really trying to keep the leg as straight as you can. I know it's hard, you're just aiming for it as best you can, and that's what's gonna eventually, over time change. Lift the leg back up, and then we can play. Let's try the tree here, because this is fun and hard, but fun. So it's fun, on your own especially. Holding again with two hands. You're gonna curl chin to chest, your arms stay straight. Think of the back of your thigh and hip engaging and pushing forward and down to help you roll up through your spine. And then if you can get to the top here, you can even bend your elbows and try to lift your spine more. To go back, chin to chest, begin to curl back, and as you do, you're reaching that whole leg into that squishy thing with your foot. Sorry, no words there. And then lie down. So you're really trying to control it. Once again, chin to chest, curl, press the leg, just kind of hang off of it, and it just massages you up. It's kind of nice. And then lift, chin to chest, scoop out, hollow out your front body into your back body. So I'm basically suspended here because I'm pushing forward with my leg. And then continue that to help guide you down with grace. Oh yeah. And there you go. So from here, we're gonna just do the one leg circle. You can hold your circle above your chest or get rid of it and put your arms down beside you, your choice. The leg is gonna cross over the midline, down, around, and back up again. And as you continue, you're just looking to make sure the circle doesn't sway around, right? Or that you're not driving down a rocky road there. Across, around, and so at any given time, you might need to press against the circle with either both hands or more with one and then the other. You'll feel it. Let's just reverse it. Out, down, around, up. Your circle is as big as you can control. So stay within your joint. Try not to have yourself rolling around, so as little as possible. Using a little press against the circle to help you stay stable in your upper body. One more, out around, across and up, and then you can just lower that leg down. All right, shimmy it out, other side. Foot goes into the squishy pad. Hands on the outside of this other circle pad. The other leg is not outside, but it's underneath your hip. And as you bend and stretch this leg, just go for it and just see what you got. You're just making sure that that hip on that side that you're stretching is not hiking up and rolling up into your armpit. You're actually trying to wrap it under you. And that actually makes it feel like a bigger stretch. Yep, even here for me. So we'll do one more. And then you'll hold it there. And you just hold it with the opposite hand. Take it across your body. When it comes across, there's a little bit of external rotation so that it doesn't roll in pigeon-toed. Yeah, it's gonna turn out a little bit and that makes it a little more comfortable. The hip is reaching under you and reaching down. Ooh la la, it's a good stretch. Bring it up and then switch hands. Other hand can give you support. The leg comes out. And then you're really just trying to not tip over so much with it as best you can. So the opposite side of my body is deepening back into the mat to stop me from losing stability. Oh, it's a good stretch there. And then lift it up and we can try the tree. So holding on, chin to chest, arms are straight, the back of your leg and hip engaged. You press into that squishy pad and you just kind of roll up with it. When you get to the top, you can bend your elbows and pull in and up with your powerhouse. To go back, chin to chest, reach your leg and hip into the squishy pad as you hang back, and then articulate down. Let's do that again. Chin to chest, articulate, roll up, and lift. And I'm holding on to help me lift, but internally now I'm going to use my inside muscles to help lift me more, if I can. Chin to chest, curl back, your arms straighten, and you massage down into the mat. After a couple of those, we'll take that off of your foot. So circle or no circle, your choice. Circles over the chest, and then you're gonna take your leg across, down, around, and up, across, down, around, and up. I'm gonna flex my other foot. And down, around, and up. This one wiggles around way more for me. This is like way less stable with my left leg. So I'm just trying to figure it out. Let's reverse. Out. Which way does it go? So I need to, if it goes to the right, I need to push more with my right. If my circle goes to the left, I need to push more with my left to keep it centered. So how do you keep your circle center? One more this way. Hopefully that was 5. If not, do 5. And bring your leg down. Ah, that's so hard. Okay, super fun though. Let's take a roll up to come up. We'll use the circle or not, your choice. Find your feet flexed, arms up, chin to chest. Inhale, exhale, squeeze the circle when you need it, and then release. Go forward over. And now let's just have fun and slip that sticky pad over both of the backs of your feet, the balls of your feet. Pull back to flex your feet, but pull forward with your spine. So you're really getting an extra stretch there. And then sit up and just gently point your toes or reach the balls of your feet into the squishy pad. And just one more, you pull back to get the stretch, elbows will be bent, and you just kind of scoop and curl forwards over your legs. Try to relax your shoulders, and then come up and gently point. Cool. Okay, so they're rolling like a ball. We're gonna do with the circle. It can be fun or it just can be a nuisance, but we're gonna have fun and try. So the circle is in front of your shins. You bring your legs in toward you as best you can. So this is harder because you're not holding on to your own legs. So you can have fun with it and ditch it and do the other way if you want, but what you're gonna try to think about is that effort of a press against the circle, how it connects to your back, how it might connect you deeper to your center. And you do have to keep your feet close to you. So bringing your feet in, let's just curl back a little off of your tailbone, sit bones, somewhere where you can float your feet off a bit. Try to pull yourself in. The circle is not going to rest on your shins, we hope. From there, the elbows are pointing out, chin to chest, pray, and inhale. Go back, come up, exhale, squeeze the circle to help you up. Yeah, press against it. Inhale back, exhale up. I do feel my abdominals working to keep me here. Inhale back, exhale up, chin to chest the whole time. Inhale back, exhale, use it, squeeze it up. Try 2 more. Inhale back, exhale up. 1 more, inhale back, exhale up. Woohoo! And that part's done. Good. So we'll do the spine stretch forward. I'm skipping the ab series here, just because it's just extra strain on the neck sometimes when you're not ready for it. So we'll put it into another video eventually with the circle. But for the spine stretch forward, if I am sitting on the Cadillac, it's similar to the push through in a way. You're going to place one hand on top of the squishy pad, the other hand on top of that. Flex your feet, and you're sitting up as tall as you can. So if you can't sit up and it's back here, bend your knees so that you can sit up. Alternatively, you can put a pillow or a cushion or roll up your mat and sit on that so it elevates your hips and it's easier for you to sit up straight. Take a moment to figure that out for yourself. And with flexed feet and as straight a legs as you can get, your hands are on, the elbows have a little bend and they are not dropping down. Remember what happens, the shoulders would just pop up. So elbows out to the sides. Now you can connect to your back more. Give a little press down first and feel how that might actually help you lift. It's like a little whoop. And then just release that. From what your brain thinks is your hands, but it's from your back, press down on the circle, lift. And this time, curl chin to chest, keep the press on the circle, and you're gonna kind of press down on it to lift up and over it. I'm hardly moving, but I'm going where I can. And then slowly come back up with the circle as well in your spine. Again, connect down with your triceps and the under part of your shoulder blades. Lift, chin to chest, that's an inhale. Exhale to try to press down and lift your powerhouse up and over the circle. Inhale to come up and release. We'll do 1 more. Connect, press, and find your inner lift. Chin to chest, round forward, press down more on it. Inhale, stack your spine, and release. Okay, so after that, we go into some of the intermediate work. So let's just try the swan to finish for now, because after sitting like that, it feels nice to open up the front of the hips. But if this doesn't feel good on your shoulders or your back, just leave it out for now and we can work on it in class or in your private session, whatever you're doing. So your circle's gonna be forward, your legs are back behind you. Before you set up your circle, just kind of, if you can, take a peek at where your feet are, because sometimes they might end up way over to one side. You think you're centered. So make sure they're kind of centered on the mat equally as best you can, and then take a lie down. And if you need to squiggle back, that'll be okay, you'll still be centered. Your legs have heels together, toes apart. It's not gonna be huge, but a little bit. So you can press the inner thighs together, and if your heels don't touch, because of architecture, just press the inner thighs together. Your squishy pad goes on the mat, and your hands will go one on top of the other. I'm actually gonna change which hand went on top from the last one. So my arms are fairly straight, but they still have that little elbow softening. And then your head is just gonna start a little bit hanging. Don't force it. Also, you're not pressing down yet on this, although you might want to because you're trying to find stability, but try to let it be buoyant to start with. So you're gonna find the connection of your arms connecting to your back first so that the shoulders aren't up in your ears. So shoulders not in your ears, connect. Give a press from under your triceps and your shoulder blades. Press down on the circle to lift your chest. Lift your chest higher than your shoulders. Your legs feel long on the mat, chin to chest, and kind of carve out a C curve to come forward. So you're not coming down in the arch. Connect the shoulders, connect your arms, press down. You might inhale here, lift a little more with your abdominals inside of you, and exhale, chin to chest, and kind of rounding to come forward and down. The circle becomes buoyant. We'll do one more. Connect, press down. So you never want to feel pain in the top of your shoulders. You feel the work under your armpits, under your arms, chin to chest, and dive forwards. Just to make a note, when you're pressing, you want to keep it vertical and not let it lean forward or back. Okay? So release that, come back into a little bit of a stretch. Just for a moment to release if you want. And then come on up. And that'll be your magic circle for today. That's a good workout. Enjoy and let me know what you think. Okay, bye.